All right. I'm excited to see everybody here. Happy Tuesday, all. First of all, thank you all for being here. For those of you watching online or social media, we wanted to hold this event for Momentum Builder 2023. I can't tell you how excited I am to be a part of this and for a lot of the people in my team and our organizations to be attending. Um, 2023 is going to require a different, unique set of skills. And I think that if you're going into this year with the wrong mindset, with the wrong value proposition, with the wrong product, with the wrong scripting, with the wrong team, the infrastructure, it's going to be a very, very challenging year, right? The second half of 2022 was definitely challenging for many of us, but 2023 doesn't have to be the same. And I've been to this event many years in the past. I've been fortunate to be a part of it. I'm fortunate to be able to speak at it. So I thought the best thing to do to help our mortgage audience and our kind of teammates out there is to bring this group of people on here, because this is going to be a lot of the people that are going to be sharing at the event amongst others, and just hear from them. What are they going to be sharing? Why should they, why should you come? What's the purpose of the expense, otherwise seen as an investment? So just wanted to chat with everybody here, and thank you guys all for being here. So Dave, let's start with you. You're probably as experienced as anybody in mortgage conferences.
He's the oldest.
I didn't.
I don't know about that. I think I might have them.
Well, I don't know if there's a mortgage conference you haven't been at in years, Dave. So why is this one different, and why is it so timely heading into the year we're heading into?
So I have been in the mortgage business now for 37 years, and many of those years were as an originator, and then 20 of those years have been an entrepreneur, a technology entrepreneur in the industry, and I do believe a big shift has taken place, and the biggest shift in my career is that interest rates have just gone steadily down for 37 years. Actually, I thought I missed it because everyone who got in a few years before me kind of wrote it down from the 15s and 16s, and they all bought houses and cars, and I'm like, I got in too late. And the first loan I closed was 10%, 10.2%. So, and guys, they got into the twos, and we had 2 years where we had a $4 trillion mortgage market, and that has resulted in 63% of every mortgage in America starts with a 2 or a 3. So it's a shift. It's a change. Like no one in this mortgage business has ever done business where 63% of people that own homes start with a 2 or 3. And it's not like we're planning on rates going back down to 2%. So there's a shift. The other shift that I've witnessed in my career that's changed the mortgage industry forever is technology. And so I just think it's a very important time in the industry. I also believe that literally the best decade is upon us for local referral-based mortgage professionals to kill it, and some will, and most won't. So it's an important time in the industry to come and mastermind with folks like that. There's a lot of digital conferences. We're on a digital platform right now, and I think we need to, better than ever, we need to be able to be hyper personal. Get in front of people. This is a great event. It's in person. There's just no substitute for that. And you're going to be learning modern strategies, and you're going to be learning from practitioners, people that are killing in this market. Sean Herrero, the adventure lender who we have on here, this guy's a rock star. You're going to have, and I'm not going to start naming names because the names are on the website, but you're going to have some people that are they're masters and they're doing the right things. So it's just an important time in the industry and an important opportunity to be with leaders.
Yeah, well said, Dave. I think when you look at the people who are talking, it's not just people who are thought leaders, it's practitioners, and it's people who are teaching and coaching those practitioners. It's people who are navigating this market very skillfully. And I've, when I found out that mortgage conferences and coachings were a thing back in 2014, I've tried to never miss them because they're highly motivational, they're inspirational, they're educational, and I take so much away from them. And if I've ever needed a time in my career to have all of those things, it's likely right now. Sean, let's go to you. I know David mentioned that you're going to be chatting on the panel. Why are you going, and what are you going to be talking about? Oh, you're muted, Sean. Just a heads up.
So by the way, guys, the digital native, the youngest guy, and I remember the first time I was on a webinar.
Hi. Damn it. No, so I signed up as a guest for this before I had the opportunity to speak. And my regret, kind of looking backwards, I don't go to enough conferences. I asked Dave last year, how do you find out about all these? I see all these people at all these events, and I'm never at any of them. And I think through COVID, I kind of got used to sitting by myself all the time, not networking, not doing these things. And there's so many people at this one specifically to learn from. And historically, I stopped going because they just weren't relevant. It was a lot of old school people speaking, a lot of old school techniques. And when I saw who was at this one, I was like, I'm going. I spent $1,300 on my ticket. It was offered to be refunded. I said, don't refund it. I'm gonna have my wife sit there for me, right? So this event is I just look at the people here, and it solves any problem I think any mortgage originator needs for 2023 and forward. You're going to have psychology here with Rene and Roland. You're going to understand how to present yourself better, how to speak to people better, how to listen to what they say better. You have tactical tools like Mortgage Coach, MBS Highway. Barry's bringing in all the people that he learns from. There's never been a group like this that I've ever seen, at least. And what I wanted is, I've been in this business 22 years. The first 15 years, I was the guy behind the scenes solving mortgage advisors' problems. And I realized that mortgage advisors have the best job in this industry because you're closest to the dollar. So in 2017, I decided to originate. And my friend said, Sean, that's a bold move. You're not going to make $100,000 your first year. You have a family to support. And he was right. I didn't make $100,000. I made $300,000. And I became 1% my first year because I was tactical in how I approached it. And now I want to share what I did with people and how I'm shifting. I think what we get stuck in is we find reasons why we're not going to do well. Oh, we're not going to do well because interest rates are high. We're not going to do well because there's no inventory. Reasons are excuses. Houses are always selling. There's always movement. We just have to figure out how to make ourselves part of those transactions. And another thing I see is people say, well, I can't do big volume because I don't have a big team. Well, I have one assistant, a processor. We did 220 million in 2020. What was that? 21? Yeah, 21. We did 100 million last year. I did 75 million without an assistant by myself. So my goal is to help people break through the barriers of the excuses we make for why we can't be where we want to be. And again, I'm just excited to go to the conference to learn because everybody I've ever wanted to hear from is going to be at this conference. So that's why I'm excited to go as an attendee more than anything else.
Love that, man. Thanks for sharing. You said a couple things that I thought were interesting. One was about, kind of old school people talking about old school tactics. This is going to be very much the opposite, as you alluded to. I think Don and Gino, and I'd love to hear from you guys next. One of the things that has always intrigued me about this event is it's a no fluff event, right? This is something where when people come, they're going to have tactical and executable strategies to take away and do immediately, not philosophical ideas, not concepts, not like, oh, wow, that's like a really cool thing, but I have no idea how to do it, right? And so that's one of the things that I love about this event is people can walk away and implement immediately because we're not hammering on philosophy. So I love that. And then secondly, Sean, you talked about the tools needed this year. I think that if we walk into this year with the same tools that we've had for the last 10, we might be working, but we're building something that nobody wants, right? We're building something that's very different than what people need, right? And so the tools that we need this year are drastically different. And they're at this event that are going to share them, the networking that you're going to have, the people you can mastermind with after the event are really going to be the people who are doing it at the highest level. So well said, Sean. Can't wait to see you there. Don, Gino, let's hear from you guys. You guys are hosting the event. First of all, thank you for having us. Thank you for hosting this event. I know it's a challenging time, and it's not easy to host an event when spirits aren't 2020 type spirits or 2021 type spirits, but it's needed now more than ever. And so having the boldness to do this right now is just something that the industry needs. We need to come together. We need to band together as a community and solve problems. So what are you guys looking forward to the most, and what do you want the people watching this to know?
Well, thank you for one having us on with this great group of speakers that are givers. Bottom line, you hit the nail on the head, Ryan, when you just said that there's no time more than now to have this inspiration, know what the shift is, what you should be doing through the shift, and like you said, no fluff. So what's nice about Momentum Builder is we try to twist it up depending on where the markets are at right currently. And right now we have the shift. So Gino and I just completely changed up the game of no fluff, meaning we did not go and hire big name speakers that are great at motivation and great at storytelling and so forth. Instead, we decided, like you said, to go tactical, and bring in those that are really understand the markets, have navigated in the past, know how to navigate it now, and are doing it now. And we just asked everybody, like Sean and Roland and Rene and Dave and you, give us, please, just not a lot of fluff. Give us real tactics that somebody can walk away with and go, I can do that. I should be doing that. I will do that. And that's really what this is all about, is giving you, and not every, speaker speaks to everyone, but we have enough good ones in this that are the rock stars that you're going to walk away with something from each one, or at least a couple, and go, that spoke to me, like Roland and Sean, who are like, and Ryan, you both knew that this event spoke to you, and then, luckily we had Rene and Dave and some of the other, industry leaders that I've been friends with for 30 plus years. Yes, a long time. That, inspired us to do this and provide these resources to everyone. That's really what it's all about. And we're super excited because, like you said, that networking, we added networking events because literally that's one of the best part of these events too, is hanging out with your friends, learning from your friends, talking to your friends, and sharing, and hopefully becoming accountability partners to where it motivates you. And you need it now, because that's why it's called Momentum Builder, is to build your momentum for our actual earning season, which is April through September. So you still have time to have your best year ever. Spring's coming. The spring buying season's good. We think it's going to be great. We think it's coming back. So what better time to get motivated? So thank you all for being givers and being part of our venture here.
Hey, can I say something real quick, Ryan? Because anybody who's ever met Don Goettling and Don and Gino knows this guy grew up in the industry masterminding. He loves people. He loves these types of events. And I think it's pretty unique that an event promoter is just such a student of the game, that truly does put people and masterminds over profits. Like, these guys are practitioners, they are operators in the business, and they are putting on an event that for practitioners and operators in the business. So I think it's pretty special what you guys do, and I'm super grateful for it. But anyone listening into this, it's a different type of an event, and it's a great way to kick off the new year.
Yeah, Dave. So on that note, look, I'll touch on a small difference from last year. And it doesn't take a big difference, but it takes a small difference. So last year you had Gary Vee, right? Big headline name. He's great. Everything you want to say about Gary Vee, but what does he help you do? Can you really come up with enough content to do 4 posts per day on 4 social media channels and still do your job? No, that was his regular job, where you have to have a full-time person do that. But Roland said something when we were on a call with Rene last week, as I was taking notes, or 2 weeks ago, and I said to myself, wait a second, do I need likes or do I need clients? I don't need likes. Who cares? I never got paid for a like in my life. So that's the difference. When it sounds like, it's not like we're not going to learn how to do social media, because we have to utilize social media as today's tool to reach people. But what are you trying to achieve? And I think that's where we changed it up just enough to have people like Roland help us with the strategy, and Rene help us with really making sure that people see us, they look us in the eye, and they make a decision with people they know, like, and trust. I think business is going to be done, Dave, like you touched on, the way it used to be done, but in a modern way. But it's going to still be with people you know, like, and trust. So how do you build that in a virtual world? And how do you get back to having relationships? If you don't have relationships, you're just transactional, and that's not going to work right now.
True that.
Yeah. Good awareness. Well, let's hear from Rene. Rene, you've no doubt taught everybody here um, so much about how we do our jobs today and how we think about our influence and how we think about our commitment to the consumer. Um, why do you think people need to be at this event, and what are you going to be sharing that you think it's important for people to know?
Well, one, I mean, look at the people on this call. I mean, it's if you believe that you are the average of who you surround yourself with, this is about networking. It's about the space, who you share space with, who you allow into your mind, who you do that with. I spoke 235 days last year. I did the math the other day, and I looked at that and I said, okay, and then I still tried to achieve and go to, whether I was speaking or not, every single event possible. My first Momentum Builder, I got a call afterwards from Wiley Publishers who saw Momentum Builder, and that's where I got my book contract.
Wow.
And so, I mean, just being exposed does that for you. We partnered last year to do Momentum Builder and AmCon because we knew that we're going after the same client with different things and putting the energies together. This event makes things happen. And look at who it's pulled together. I was telling them, I mean, when was the last time you saw Dave Savage, Barry Habib, Todd Duncan on the same stage? And it just doesn't happen, right?
Never. I mean, it's been over a decade since the three of us have been on the same stage. So congratulations, guys. Might be even longer than that.
And that's why I told Don this morning. I said, that you realize that hasn't been done, and it's so to pull together that, and then now look at the audience, the conversations you're going to have, the happy hours that you're going to be having, that when you just have a random dinner with somebody, walking in and grabbing a coffee and there's somebody there, listening to the energy. This market, as Ryan said, is going to require you to enter it. Somebody said, how's business? I said, business is great. It's just a little harder. And I'm okay with hard work. Like, it's just a little harder. And so it's going to be as good as really correlated to how hard you're willing to work. And it's, when I say by hard, it may have to call a few more times. You might have to stay up and post a few more videos. Or, for me, we've been doing video for 10 years and it just caught on this year. And it's like, well, wow, overnight, we're in a few months. I'm like, no, 10 fucking years. And all mistakes, to fucking 30 years of speaking, mostly to empty rooms. This is part of your story right now. If this is a difficult market, good. It's going to create a great story when it's not so difficult. This is a cycle. And if this might be a little bit more difficult, cool. Take some lessons, go to the people that are doing great, and take it into the next meet. Unless you're done. And if you're a one and done person, then get out. That's fine. Nobody wants you around anyways. And I would say go for any industry. That would go for any team. That just goes for anything. And so right now, I think the mindset is, it's okay to suffer a little bit. It's okay to push forward. And to me, I want to push forward. I want to learn from people who are the best, and I want to grow with people who are the best. And so, and here's the other thing. 10% of your income should be spent on your personal development, a minimum. 10% at a minimum. So why you went to this other event, who cares? Keep going. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. And then figure out how you're going to implement this stuff. Mortgage industry is well paid for its business. Well paid. You get paid on average, let's say the minimum $3,000 just for a loan. And you convert 66% of your applications. That means your applications are worth $2,000. If you convert 60% of your applications from your presentations, that means your presentations are worth $1,200. And if you convert 50% of your leads into a presentation, that means your leads are worth $600. And if you convert 20% of the people that you talk to into potentially being a lead, that means for every 25, you get 5. That means every time you talk to somebody, it's $120. If you go to an event like this and go talk to people, you will rack up the ROI. So I don't believe in the excuses this is also, it's not an expensive event. Go surround yourself with the best people. We're all going through something good together. Let's go through it together. Let's learn. And I'm excited. You can tell I'm a little fired up, but I like this shit.
Love that, man. That's what we need. We need that level of intensity and passion. Sean, did you have
I want to piggyback on that because I was the guy, again, I've been originating, this will be my 6th year. I was the scarcity mindset guy that was like, I'm not paying for that event. It's not good use of money. And it wasn't until last year that I shifted. And like Neel's event last year was the first event I'd gone to in years. I immediately bought the VIP ticket. Roland told me about this event, hung out with Roland. I bought the VIP ticket. I learned so much, and this event's long. Like you get there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, you're going to have 3 full days of networking. You got to come to this mindset of like the value that's going to come out of this is like a no brainer. Right. So thank you, Rene, for touching on that.
Absolutely. Good to see you, Sean, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, and then the other thing too, it's like, even if you think you've seen these people before, because we've seen each other on stage over the years many, many times. You know how many times I had to hear Brian Tracy say, "Eat the biggest frog first," before I actually did it? I mean, because if it's not the right message at the right time, it won't provoke action. And so, and everybody retunes their speeches and changes what we're trying to deliver, but it's when you hear the right message at the right time that you can implement. And that's what we're trying to make sure, to put as many people on there that we know are incredibly skilled to deliver great message that'll touch you at the moment that you need it right now, so that you could succeed in 2023. And 2023 will be a better year than 2022 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just like when we heard Roland, we didn't, Roland, we didn't have a clue at first what you were going to share. And we're like, holy crap, that is so unique, which is, and so relevant in today's market. We're like, oh, that's so silly that we don't do that. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get, these pearls of wisdoms from all these experts. They're just the best of the best. And they're bringing it this year because you guys are all givers. Like I said, because you guys want to help others. That's why you guys are so successful. You guys really bring it out there. Ryan, you don't have to do this. You run a successful company and you are all over this. You're like, I want to give and I want my team to receive, and I'm going to be part of this. And that's really cool. I applaud you. And Dave was one of the inspirations, and Rene, you guys, and Craig Sowen and Habib didn't really give Gino and I a choice. You're like, because this is our 5th year. We started small locally, and you're like, no, you need to bring this to more. You need to bring this to more people, and we'll help support it because it's good stuff. So thank you for that.
So Don, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, you really have put something quite special together. The people that you're putting on it, the commitment you have to buy top producers for people that either are top producers or want to become top producers. And this is not a small financial commitment you made to put this on. So just know I'm grateful. Anyone listening, I think it's also important to call out that, guys, this is a really important time in the industry to not only come yourself, but this is one of those events where let's have a grassroots movement and get 2 more, 3 more of the right people, because if people not only sign up and come, but then you get a group of other folks to come, it makes it more valuable for all of us. And selfishly, I want to go there and I want to have an opportunity on stage to grow the mission that I have, but I want to go there and network with a lot of amazing professionals. So think about it like, guys, this is an event that we all have a hand in, and we can all bring more people to this event so that it is the hottest way to start the new year in the mortgage space. So thanks, you guys.
And Dave, I think we need the energy.
Ryan, not to cut you off, but unfortunately, Gino and I do, we mentioned, we had a hard stop, unfortunately, because we had literally a live presentation in front of like 75 real estate agents in like 20 minutes. We still got to go.
We're still doing it, right? We're out there still doing it.
Hey, we're in this. We're in the grind with you guys every day. This is not. This is our legacy piece. We actually we do mortgage every day, like you. So we get it. So thank you, Rene, Roland, Sean,
thanks, guys.
Dave. Yeah. Sorry, we have to split.
Don, you get going. I'm gonna stay 5 more minutes, real quick.
We will have a special discount code for this call. We want to get more people in front. We want to impact more. That's what our goal is. So you'll get a special discount code. We'll make sure that you get that, Ryan, because you brought us all together and everybody gave up their time. We want to make sure we get as many of you out there to receive this great information. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate you, buddy.
Peace. We'll see you guys there. It's gonna be awesome.
As Don mentioned, we are going to have to bounce here pretty quick. I let him. He's got a little bit longer drive than I do to the event, but Roland's been really helpful throughout this whole 12 months, maybe 14 months that Roland, you've been involved with us and helping us frame this event in a little different light. And one of the things that we've been working really hard on is a community app. And we really haven't talked about that because the plan was to launch that at the event, but it did just go live. So all the sampling and all the stuff is done. So it is going to happen. So now I feel more comfortable saying it, waiting on iOS to approve something. You never know if it's going to happen. But Roland, if when we're gone, you don't mind talking a little bit about the community element and what we're trying to achieve as far as growing our tribe, that would be awesome. But dude, if you could help us out with that.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Really,
All right, Gino.
really adore
See you
all
soon,
of
bud.
you. I really appreciate all of you. And thank you, Ryan, for putting this on.
Happy to do it. See you in a couple of weeks.
See you, Gino.
So, Roland, you and I have gotten to know each other well over the last 4 years or so, and it's just been incredible to watch how impactful you've been in the mortgage space, especially from an outsider's perspective, kind of coming in and seeing how we're all wired or not, and just what you've been able to do for people from a mindset perspective, how people look at things through a different lens, find your thing, right? Like you and I talked about it on the podcast, and so excited to hear you at the event as well. Maybe because you do a lot of coaching with mortgage professionals and some of the top mortgage professionals in the country, and consulting and just kind of knowing people's energy. How important would you say it is for people to use this as an energetic kind of shift into the new year?
I love it. I think, the thing that I see, especially as a neutral party in this, the new normal has been elevated completely, right? That's like, think about it over the last 5 years. Look what the new normal is. I mean, we have people with amazing cameras in their house, studios in their homes. I mean, we have people like Dave, Barry, Todd, giving people assets that mortgage professionals didn't even have. And now, so I mean, everyone's so well equipped. I mean, it seems like every time I turn my head, somebody's trying to call me and show me some awesome thing that they've invented to help mortgage professionals do a better job. So to me, the new standard has been incredibly elevated, and I love it because it's now that the playing field is this amazing playing field. You no longer can lean on those things to carry you. You actually have to be good at your job. You have to be someone that people want to be around, that people want to work with. So I love it. I think that I wasn't alive back in the 50s, but I mean, this reminds me of good old days. I mean, you can't just shortcut your way and use technology to, cut the line and come to the front. I mean, this is the best person's going to finish first. And so I think it's awesome. I think as a real entrepreneur, not a salesperson, I love it. I think this is some of the most exciting times to be out there, because you're only competing if you're playing the game that way. And so I think that's why a lot of people are really struggling, is they are competing. To me, when you bring your skill set and your persona and your charisma to a fight, I mean, it's not really a competition. That people auto-select the ones that they resonate with the most. So I think it's an exciting time. And I think it's, from a conference standpoint, there couldn't be a better time to be around people, because I think people, that's the leverage point now, is your personality, your charisma, the skill set that you bring, your unique abilities, your passion, your unique outlook. It's all that stuff. So we need to get out of, take a little break from the tactical piece of it and actually go back to the roots of, how do you get chosen, right? In a competitive market. I mean, if that's what's going to be happening. People are going to be choosing now. It's not going to be just landing in your lap. So if you want to be that person who gets chosen, what's the psychology behind that? I mean, how do you actually get chosen? I mean, I've been a student of this since I was 15 years old, because I wanted to be chosen. Not because I wanted to be rich. I just wanted to be chosen. It was a need of mine to be picked. I wanted to be picked. And now it's exciting for me, because that is, at least in mortgage, I mean, that is exactly what's going on right now. Are you the one that's getting chosen?
Hey, I want to add something right there, because this is part of the pivot that I believe that's taking place, and it is like a sea change. It is a seismic shift that, for my entire career, that really was the mortgage industry, is being the one to be chosen. And I remember Don, early days, as a leader on Mortgage Coach, he talked about, why do you use Mortgage Coach, Don? To crush competition. Guys, there is a new era in the mortgage industry, and it's not just to be chosen. It's to go out there and create hidden opportunities. Because remember, guys, 63% of families that own a home, their rate starts with 2 or 3. Is it going to be as likely that people are like, who have a 2% rate, are like, I want to move up? They're like, that's an asset, guys. So mortgage professionals are going to need to go out there and create opportunities. There's a first-time home buyer opportunity in America. And a lot of people, when they have a kid that's going, graduate from high school or graduate from college, they're not thinking, ooh, I could help my child build wealth with real estate, and they could house hack. They could do a 3-bedroom house and rent out 2 bedrooms, or they could buy a duplex or a triplex. Like the new era in the mortgage industry is uncovering hidden opportunities. It's proactively leveraging data and creating experiences to get families to go, oh, I didn't think about that. So there, again, why is it important? This is a pivot. This is a new era in the industry that I'm calling the data-driven advice era. Like I believe there's been 2 eras. Low interest rate era, it's over. Like we hit bottom. Technology, the digital shift era, it's still going. I think we're in like the second quarter of that digital shift era. But now we're in an era where digitally driven advisors need to create opportunities and be chosen. So you got to win 2 games in this new marketplace.
Just to add to that, Dave, too, I think, because I think any sales professional's job has always been to uncover unseen value. I had to do that when I sold cookware, almost 30 years ago. Nobody saw value in it, but I had to uncover unseen value. But I love what you're saying, which is now the digital, the technology can tell us those life events, tell us those things that are going to do that. And the thing that I've said since my first days in this industry is that the industry needs to go back to selling, which means I got to be able to present some sort of value in some way, shape, or form. And if this industry, low interest rates destroyed sales professionalism. It destroyed the need for presentation. It destroyed the need for going out there and learning how to inflect a voice and close a deal, and learning how to manage that process and manage expectations, because all you had to do was gather as many people as you can and close and just take as many orders as you could. Now, no problem with that. That's great. Make the money, do the money grab. Awesome. But now this isn't a weird time. This is called normal. But now the new era Dave's talking about is that there's better technologies and better things out there to help you do those basic fundamentals really, 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 really well. And I think the person that's going to succeed, exactly what these guys in Roland's talking about, is that how do we best uncover the opportunity that the lazy person, or maybe the unskilled person, untrained, can't see? That to me is the massive opportunity. And so some people just say, just go eat out of other people's bowls if there's not enough food, because they're not paying attention.
Yeah, I think, what I'll be talking about at the end of day 1 is tactical scripting to sell a different product, right? So just giving people real life scripts to have conversations with someone who's not interested in buying a home, someone who's not interested in refinancing immediately. Like, what conversation should we be having with the average person who doesn't call us and say, I was referred to you and I want to buy or refinance, right? Because that's going to be few and far between. And so I'm excited to share that. And Dave and Rene, you both hit it right on the head. Like, we have to think differently about what we're doing, and we have to be masters of our craft, unless we just want to ride the roller coaster with everybody else. Roland, what would you say? What are you going to talk about specifically? And then maybe share a little about the app that Gino was talking about.
Yeah. So mine's personal branding, but different than anybody's thought of it. To me, a personal brand nowadays is far less to do with your logo, your website, your content, in terms of your content presentation, because the standard has just been, it's just so normal. I mean, it's rare to go through your feed now and see a bad camera, bad content, no captions. I mean, it's just, the standard has been so elevated. So now, in a world where we've learned how to express ourselves, we have to express ourselves. I think everyone, they've gotten so infatuated with the techniques, but the thing that I really see a lack of is just selves that I'm interested in. I mean, it's just not that great. The bulk of the content's just not that. It's just not that great. It's a lot of the same. There are people solving problems that have already been solved. They're talking about problems that have already been solved. To me, that just doesn't qualify as super captivating content. And so what is captivating? And from the people who are actually winning, what are they posting? What do they stand for? I mean, all of you on this call qualify in that. I think if people just followed all of you and studied you, the stuff that you guys choose to put into the world, it's special and it's different and it captures people's attention. So what is that? What's that look like? And then ultimately, what's that mean for you, right? Because the answer isn't copy Ryan, copy Rene, copy Dave, copy Sean, copy me. That's part of the problem. The problem is there's too much of that going on. So it's, what is in you and how can you leverage that? So that you don't have to be anybody besides yourself, right? And that's the problem. We have a bunch of people who don't know who they are, and it's just not fun to watch someone like that. It's more fun to watch you and your element talking about things that you enjoy. So yeah, put a lot of hours into it, as Rene probably knows on these. I've never perfected a hour keynote. I tried last year. It just was a little premature for me. I tried the year before that. It was premature. This year is the one. And the hours, I always wondered, why do you get 50K for something like this? Now I know it's exhausting. I do it once through the day. I'm drained. So yeah, I'm excited to share it. I think it's awesome. I think what they built here, and it kind of transitions into the app. So the app was not my idea. They just said that I knew about it. So they wanted to make Momentum Builder a year-round thing, that it wasn't just a conference that you came in and you came every year. Because part of and this was my input, was, to me, the benefit from the conference is seeing the same person you saw last year. It's kind of like keeping that conversation going, keeping that relationship going. And so my only ad was, hey, what would it take to make sure that everybody came back to Momentum Builder every year? Like, this wasn't just I do it if I have time. It's I don't do things on the second week of February because I have Momentum Builder. Because to me, that's where the strength can really be built, when you've been 8 or 9, 10 years in a row, and you imagine the conversations that are going to happen. So the philosophy with the app is, just make it a thing, not just an event you go to if it works out, but something you actually make a priority.
Awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Well, does anybody have any last things they want to share before we wrap up here?
Yeah, let me just piggyback on what. Oh, sorry, Rene, go ahead.
I was just saying sign up, but go ahead, Sean.
No, I just wanted to piggyback on what Roland said, because I found myself subject to this last year. I've always done video. I've done it in a unique way from a van. And then I fell into, Neel really spearheaded this short form reel style. And I found myself falling into trying to do it Neel's way. And I love what he's come up with, but I realized I let go of what was unique about me trying to follow that same process. And Roland helped me kind of realize that. And I think we can look at guys like Roland and Rene and be like, yeah, but they've never originated a mortgage, so how can they help us? When I look at Roland and Rene, what I see are guys that help me with my mindset, that help me to differentiate myself, that enable me to push forward with these intuitions we might have that we're scared to go after, because it's not what everyone else did, but it is what's unique to us. So I'm super excited to hear both of you guys speak. Again, I think I might be more excited to be a guest than a speaker, because there's so much knowledge at this one event. It's unreal.
The best trends come from outside the industry. Always. My best coaches never sold what I sold. Brian Tracy never sold consulting. I mean, he did sell consulting, but Tom Hopkins never sold that. I mean, the best advice I got were people outside of it. So I think balancing the in and the out is really, really powerful. I did originate loans in 2002 though, for like a week and a half. And I was like, F that.
But I take back everything I said.
I do got to jump, but I want to summarize a couple of things. I think what makes this event so special, and to the point, I don't remember who pointed it out, but myself, Todd Duncan, Barry Habib, I think this will be the first event in a decade where we're sharing a stage together, which to me is just pure magic. I'm stoked that's happening. You have some of the preeminent coaches and thought leaders, who are bringing ideas from outside the mortgage industry, and then the vast majority of the speakers, they're operators, and I can speak for myself that while there will be during the session that I moderate some high level ideas. First of all, there'll be high level ideas that drive loans now. Like this is a loans now market. Like my goal will be for my session is, can you literally tomorrow get some new loans because you sat through that, I don't know if it's 45 minutes, an hour, whatever time my session has, like loans now tomorrow, tactics, scripts. So it's going to be just this combinations of high level ideas that are loans now. And then I guarantee, Sean, be ready because you're on my panel. You're going to come with some very specific scripting, some very specific tactics. So, and then, like I said, most importantly, it's physical. The one of the 6 mega trends that my LinkedIn article that $100 million producers have embraced is that the real world has been redefined. And so like, think about like, if you want to be the best of the best basketball player, you need to be able to go right. You need to be able to go left, and you need to be great in both directions. And in the mortgage business, the new real world is physical and digital. This is a great physical way to get together, and can't wait to see y'all. Thanks for having me, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being here.
John.
See you, brother.
All right, well, we will let you all go. Sean, Roland, Rene, thank you guys for being here today. If you're watching this, do yourself a favor, sign up, come to the event. I promise you, just the energy of the event alone will transfer into your next 30 days, your next 3 months, your next 3 years. The energy and the vibrance of an event like this in a time and in a market like this cannot be underestimated, which is the main reason I'm looking forward to going, right? Because everybody, regardless of who you are, you need inspiration, you need motivation, you need a push, you need to see other people winning and realize that, they're no different than you and you can do the exact same thing. And I think that, if you took all the content out and all the speakers out and all that stuff out and just that alone, I promise you that would be worth it. So hopefully we will see you all there. Gentlemen, excited to see you in 3 weeks, and we'll all talk soon.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, you guys.